You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome all and welcome back into another episode of the Insight NFL Podcast. And we're changing things up. We were coming off our SuperCoach show last night that we recorded, but we've got a preseason week 2 preview. And it was pretty exciting. I think week 1, Secko, we got a little bit more than we bargained for. And to throw it to you, just one quick thing from that weekend. I know for me, Shedeur Sanders, he is the truth. I know that's probably going a little bit overboard, but it was great to see him with all the pressure that he would have had on him for him to come out and throw a couple of touchdowns after a shaky drive or so. It was awesome for the sport.
Yeah, unfortunately, he picked up an injury at training on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
We it was big. I mean, it's good. It was good to see. It was good to see him. Obviously, Trayvon Henderson was probably the biggest riser out of preseason week 1. I had to go back and watch a bit of that, and he's got a great burst. He's worth it. He might be rising up my rankings. So those two definitely were the two that stood out to me.
And just with this, before we dive in, Secko, because we'll just jump in straight in. We'll go through these games one by one and kind of go through it that way. But we did also come off our My Guys episode that dropped on Wednesday night. The video to that, or the link will be in the description below. And that one was definitely a fun one that we kind of went through. Our first one here for the Insight NFL pod, and shout out to Mav for making that one special for us. So with that being said, Secko, let's dive straight in, mate, with preseason week 2. We've got no Friday games this week, but we do have a couple on the Saturday, 9 a.m. Tennessee Titans versus Falcons, and I will actually throw this up on screen. Cool.
Yes.
There we go. So I might even just try and make that a little bit bigger. Excellent. So Titans versus Falcons, week 1. I believe Cam Ward is starting again in this one, Secko.
Yeah. He's going to play. He's going to start all 3 games. So that's good. And Ridley's playing this week as well. So tomorrow. So it's it's good to see Cam Ward doing his thing. And I think Ridley, I've spoken about him a lot already. He was defense my guy. Could have easily been my guy as well. I think he's just going to get peppered by Ward. So I'm pumped to see what they can do, but what Ward can do for an extended period tomorrow as well.
And on the other side of this game of the Falcons, have you heard of anything being confirmed with those guys? I know Michael Penix, you definitely wouldn't go astray him getting a bit of a run. But I know they're just looking at it here, they had a practice versus the Titans, so it's good to see them facing off now. And there was a bit of a fight going on as well.
Yes.
And anything from you, on the Falcon side of this first game?
Yeah, no, I think the word is that they're not going to start. Like, their starters won't be starting. So they'll just have backups from the start. They've sort of had that's sort of all they've done this preseason. So you won't get a lot from the Falcons, from what I'm understanding, which is annoying, but is how it is.
Well, that makes it a quick one for us to jump on down to the next. And Kansas City Chiefs versus Seattle Seahawks. So again, for the Chiefs side of things, we don't expect Patty Mahomes and the boys to come out here, but Brashad Smith, hopefully he should get a run. How are you feeling about the Chiefs on this side of the ball?
Yeah, well, Mahomes is. I think they said yesterday that he's unlikely to feature, which I don't know why they wouldn't just say he's not going to play. That's what Kansas City said. Kareem Hunt's also injured, so it'd be Elijah Mitchell, Brashad Smith. I don't know who's their backup quarterback. I don't even know these days, but
Gardner Minshew, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Gardner. Yeah, that's so cool. Is it wrong that part of me wants Mahomes to get injured this year so I can watch Gardner rock it all year with his bandana?
You're not the only one, mate. You're not the only one.
His mustache. But they don't play their starters very often. However, Seattle, good news story. Darnold's playing. JSN's apparently playing, as well as Horton Arroyo and their cast of newer guys. So Ken Walker still won't be there. He's still just getting over being injured for the 11th time already this preseason. and Charbonnet will obviously be in there just with the starters. So at least we'll get some sort of starter action in that game on Saturday morning.
And one for me to just watch before we jump down to Sunday slate on the Seahawks side of the ball. Torrey Horton for me has just been rising up. I know it come a couple of weeks ago, I was filtering through all my dynasty leagues, however many there might be, and trying to see if Torrey Horton was available. And in a couple he was, and so I was more than happy to pick him up. And I think he's going to have a real role. There's been a lot of steam coming out of Torrey Horton, and he suffered that injury in his last year of college, which kind of lowered his draft stock. So I think there's money to be made in that regard. So hoping to see if he can have another strong showing in preseason week 2. Moving on down the line. Sunday's game, we've got a couple early morning ones here for us Australian fans. Miami Dolphins versus Detroit Lions. Looking at it here, Tua Tagovailoa, he did start last week against the Bears, but he came out, and then Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers kind of jumped on board there. Yeah. What are you expecting here from the Dolphins, Secko?
It's hard to know. I feel like they're just going to sit Tua down from the start. It's sort of be treated like the old third preseason game back in the day where none of the stars would go in, sort of old school. But I think Zach Wilson will be in there for a lot. I don't think there'll be obviously Hill or Waddle. So, and Darren Waller's obviously still out, and their defense is rubbish. So they'll probably play their starters the whole game because they need to get better. But yeah, Miami won't be much to watch. Detroit, on the other hand, we may see our favourite, an insight favourite, Isaac Tesala.
Oh, let's go.
Do his thing. Hopefully he's out there for a bit. He's rising up their depth chart, so there's a chance that he actually gets some extended run when it comes to the real stuff as well, which is great for him. Was he a third or a fourth round rookie?
He was a third round pick, but they traded like future third round picks as well to come up and get him.
Right.
So there's definitely
third round.
Yeah, they definitely like him, so that'll be one to watch. But just on the Dolphins, Secko, before we go down to Panthers Texans, that running back, that RB2 situation, I mean, Jalen Wright looked horrid last week, and I think it's kind of, and Alexander Madison going down with a neck injury as well. He'll be out for the year.
Season.
Ollie Gordon, he could be a sneaky little play. Was a late round draft pick this year, bigger body. Very different to Devon Achane that they have there. How are you feeling about Ollie Gordon? And do you see him taking over from Jalen Wright and start the year?
Yeah, it's hard. I thought Jalen Wright was locked and loaded until he got stuffed 4 times at the 1 yard line. So it really does open up. That sort of thing can open up for anyone. I don't know. I just think it's going to be Devon Achane doing, a lot of the heavy lifting, and the backup probably is purely a backup this time around. So it's probably making me even more the Jalen Wright, Ollie Gordon situation and Madison injury. It's making me even hotter on Achane. So that's pretty much all it's done for it. It's made me want to go and get him in the top 6 picks in fantasy.
No, love it. And Panthers Texans, I know I can't really, there hasn't really been anything announced as of yet to who's starting in this one, but Panthers, I mean, they looked good. They had a couple of series last week against Cleveland Browns. That early connection with Bryce Young and Ted McMillan, things that you absolutely love to see. Anything from you on this game, Secko? Anything that you're watching out for that you've heard are starting?
No. So I think Bryce and Ted are going to get a series again. They just have an electric connection already. I'm big on Bryce Young. He's not someone that you're going to draft very often, but I can see him definitely being on fantasy teams at some point this year. Houston side, obviously, Woody Marks is sort of all the talk. Nick Chubb's looking horrible. Joe Mixon's still very, very injured. Gumbawale is their other option there. I think Woody Marks could be one of those guys who came from, like Pacheco did a couple of years ago, come from the absolute clouds to be super relevant. So just watch how much run he gets. Should all be with the ones, and just see if they keep him in longer. That might be a bit of a tell that he's they're expecting Mixon back, or they want Chubb as their lead guy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Woody Marks, what an absolute name. And that's not actually his real name, by the way, Secco. I'll quickly throw that to you. He just likes Toy Story. So his name
Yeah, I
he
know.
just
I know. I heard
goes
that. Yeah,
by Woody.
I heard
So
that.
which is cool to
Yeah,
see. You gotta back a guy like that. I think it'd be rude not to.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, one to watch
Exactly.
out
100%.
for Woody Marks on Sunday morning. Moving on next to the second last game on Sunday, Packers versus the Colts. Now I believe that looking at the Colts, this one to start off with, Daniel Jones is going to be starting
Mm.
this one with Anthony Richardson starting the previous game and, took that sack and dislocated his finger. How are you feeling about this Colts game and how Danny Dimes is going to perform?
Yeah, it's good. I think he was in front a long way in the preseason or in the off season. He was considered to be the front runner for the gig. Good thing is Richardson's thumb got put back in, and he's actually going to play on Sunday. So that's the word anyway. He'll take the second run, or the third or fourth drive, whatever it is, depending on how he feels on the day. But I'm pumped to see Tyler Warren work with Daniel Jones and see how good that connection actually can be. We spoke about him on the previous episode yesterday. In the most wanted, that Tyler Warren is the guy I think is going to get a lot of targets and to be peppered by Daniel Jones if it's him. I still think Richardson's going to pepper him as well, but I can just see it being a massive connection between the two. So looking for that Sunday morning.
And on the other side of the Packers, just real quickly, we've got the Jordan Love injury. He went in for surgery yesterday, I believe, on his non-throwing thumb. Matthew Golden, he's really the main one here that I want to see, and if he gets a little bit of a run here, just to, yeah, I mean, I was a little bit off Matthew Golden during the draft process. I didn't like the production profile. There wasn't a whole lot there, but I mean the talents and the draft capital, and now all this steam that's coming out of Packers camp to go along with the Jaden Reed injury. He's one that's definitely rising for me for sure. And with that being said, we'll jump on down to our last one: Patriots Vikings, last game on Sunday. Really good to see the first game. Trey Henderson, I mean, God, if the one thing that he could have done to make his draft stock just jump, his first touch of the ball, kick return, and he ran it to the house for a 100-yard score on special teams. So that was just absolutely electric to see. Anything from you here on Secko and Patriots versus the Vikings?
Um, nothing major. It's sort of Jordan Addison should play a fair bit again, given that he's suspended. He can still play preseason, so that's good that we had to see an actual top tier stud type guy be out there. But it's not going to be with JJ McCarthy. I think I feel like I read somewhere that he was unlikely to play, and it'd be Nick Mullins or whoever. But ideally, JJ McCarthy's out there with Jordan Addison because they had a really good connection early in week one as well. So, and obviously, yeah, you mentioned it, but yeah, everyone wants to see Travion get more. He had 60% of Drake May's passes, three catches out of Drake May's five passes thrown total. So, yeah, he didn't get much of a run in the running game. He was only on the field for one running play. But yeah, he got plenty of action out of the backfield, and obviously that kickoff return. So he's electric. Everyone wants to see him. I'm no different.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And the last thing really on the Vikings that I did see, Rondale Moore suffered a season-ending injury
Right.
for those guys. So Ty Felton, third-round rookie pick, is an absolute burner for the Vikings. He might get a bit of an extended run here. So that'll be good to see. And another one too on your dynasty waiver wire. If you've got some taxi spots, if you've got some empty roster spots, look for Ty Felton because I mean he could take off. There's an opportunity here. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Going on down to we're still on Sunday. Actually, there's a lot more games than I had thought.
Yeah,
Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Browns versus the Philly Eagles. So we mentioned that Shador at the start of this show that how good he looked, but he's got that injury and he won't be playing here against the Eagles. Is Dylan Gabriel ready to
Dylan
go?
Gabriel
Second?
is doing this. So Dylan Gabriel is going to start and play for a fair bit of time because Flacco's not playing. He's got something like old man injury. Shador's got that oblique, and Pickett's still out with the hammy, I believe. So Gabriel's their only fit actual quarterback, and Snoop Huntley's was signed to their squad as a preseason backup quarterback. So we won't see a lot. I don't think Dylan Gabriel's realistically. I don't think we get cut, but he's not ever going to be a factor with how Shador went in week 1. So not a lot to see there. I'm not even sure if they'll start a lot of starters. And Philly don't start anyone.
Yep.
They won't. So it'll be Tanner McKee.
Yep.
McKee?
Yeah,
Whatever his
probably
name
Tanner
is.
McKee again.
Yeah, Tanner McKee again. And will Shipley will get a bit of a run to start, and then AJ Dillon, if he's fit, will. And it's not much of a game. It's probably not one you're going to sit down and watch too much of.
Yep. And with San Francisco versus Las Vegas Raiders, the only real thing I can I think everybody that is going to want to know with this one, will Ashton Genty get another look in? And yeah, he had a bit of a disappointing opening. I think he had 3 touches for -1 yards, but I mean, it's the preseason. People don't read too much into it. What about you, Secko, on this 49ers versus Raiders matchup?
Yeah, it's I think the extended look will be I think they'll give him one. I feel like they'll give him against a decent team. They'll give him a few more opportunities to shine there. Probably still AOC, but hopefully Gino for a couple of drives with him. 49ers, everyone seems to be injured at the moment. Pearsall will probably play. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to play though. So, but yeah, like they've got obviously Joanne Jennings is out, Cowing's out, Demarcus Robinson I think's out. So they've really only got, and Kittle won't play and McCaffrey won't play. So they'll have a bunch of guys I spoke about, I think, a few days ago, like Russell Gage and Robbie Chosen are the guys on their 5th rung of the depth chart that will be out there. So yeah, not much to get from the 49ers unless they surprise us with some starters.
Yeah. And I guess before we move on to Ravens Cowboys, the only other thing on the Raiders side of the ball, Dante Thornton and also Jack Besh, if those guys get another little look as well and see how they're planning. I mean, Jack Besh, he's really, he was a 2nd round pick and taking around the likes of Jaden Higgins and Luther Burden, but hasn't been good signs to start the offseason and training camp. So hopefully he can kind of find his footing there and return some value for the guys that drafted him in the 2nd round of their rookie drafts. Ravens Cowboys. I'll start us off here, Secko. On the Ravens side, probably a little bit of Keaton Mitchell. That's probably the only real person that's really worth mentioning on that side. He looked pretty good in their week 1 preseason game. For the Cowboys, Jaden Blue, I saw running back there. He's carrying a little injury. I don't think he'll probably play. Have you heard anything on that side of the ball for this one?
No, I don't think he's playing from last I heard. Phil Muffer's probably going to be in there for a bit. I'm not sure if they'll go Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams route either. So probably just them, and they've got really no receivers noteworthy coming up either. The bunch of those Jags that they always seem to have. But back to Keaton Mitchell, I think there's a chance if he does it again and then does it again, there's a chance that he could sort of make his way and cut into some of Derrick Henry's snap share. Just something to watch. It might only be a few here and there, but I think as the season rolls on, if he keeps performing like he has last year and so far in the preseason after week 1, there's a chance they just sort of spell Henry a bit more, looking to go deep in the season and not really ride him like they had last year. So, people watch this space. He's a freak, Henry, but remember he is in his 30s, and so for running backs, that's like that's a super old age. So I just think we watch this guy. That game will probably be on for me because oh no, it won't because the Rams are playing at the same time. But it might be in the background. But I think Keith Mitchell can be a real guy, not just a big player.
Yeah, one to watch out for because we saw last year when the Ravens were behind in games, it was all Justice Hill for the most part. So when he gets a little bit game scripted out and they're not in the lead or pushing for it, you could see a little bit more Keaton Mitchell. But the one that you just mentioned here, Secko, also at 9 a.m. LA v LA, Chargers versus the Rams. I'll throw it to you first with your Rams. How are you feeling on this one? I know Matt Stafford, he definitely won't be playing with that back injury, but it's good to see him participating in some light throwing
Yeah.
and a couple of drills. But anything from you on this one?
Nah, like I don't even think Jimmy G will play. It'll be Stetson Bennett again, who's rubbish, and yeah, no starters play. On the Chargers side, I hope Trey Harris gets a bit of a run. Andrew Lambert-Smith as well. I'm really annoyed that the Keenan Allen signing happened because I just think Trey Harris is capped now. Just in a run first team. So a bit of a shame, but I think if he can show enough to beat Quentin Johnson out for third receiver, that's what we're hoping for. And you can do that this
Yeah,
week, Sunday.
will be a good start. And also rookie tight end Aronde Gadsden for the Chargers. He's also getting steamed up a bit in camp and been impressing a lot of the coaches there. So he'll be one to watch as well in that Chargers v Rams game. Moving on, another battle of the same states, New York Jets versus New York Giants. I mean, looking at this, I mean, first look for me, for the Jets, just that running back situation again. In that first week, week one, we saw a little bit of everyone. Breece Hall looked the least favorable in that showing.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen looked great. Isaiah Davis did well with what he had. And then on the Giants side of the ball, I mean, it was strange actually for the Giants last week. All of them got a run. Winston, Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
Jackson Dart, the quarterback, said they all threw a touchdown as well, which was
They did.
which was even
Yeah.
better. But with the Battle of New York here, Secko, is there anything that you're really keeping your eye out for?
No, it's hard to know what the mix will be and who will play on their side. Like they haven't really got the running back situation with Scatterboo still injured. They can't really try a bunch of guys there, and I think Tracy will only play limited. And then their receivers, Neighbours obviously still injured as well. So it's just going to be one of those, like there's going to be a lot of backup guys and maybe some Slayton in there, but not much to watch for it at 9 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit of Jackson Dart. He did look good, so hopefully he gets a little bit more of a run
You look good.
without the
You're
other
right.
the other quarterbacks kind of in there. But moving on to our second last game of Sunday, Buccaneers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, at first glance, I want to see Emeka Egbuka, my guy from Wednesday's show. Hopefully, he gets a couple of touches, but not too many. I don't want him to raise his ADP up anymore. But and then on the other side of the ball, Caleb Johnson, I want to see more from him. It was not a pleasing preseason week one for him, and I think he definitely left a lot out there. So hopefully, he can bounce back in a big way.
You don't want Booker to go all Travion on
Yeah,
you and really get some steam. Look, the good thing is that both starters are going to play this game, confirmed by coaches. So, and they're both set for multiple series. So, we're actually probably going to see, we might even see a quarter or more into the second quarter of starters on all four sides of the ball, which is rare and going to be good to actually see these guys actually have a real hit out. So, I feel like 9 a.m. that might be the game that's on. Out of the four games at 9 a.m. on Sunday. So. Yeah, I'm pumped. Caleb Johnson needs to show a lot more to even factor into my calculations in drafts.
looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'll be watching that
Yep.
one as well with you. And final game of Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Arizona Cardinals versus Denver Broncos. I mean, what do you think about this one, Secko?
Yeah, so Cardinal starters are expected to start again. Probably going to be a series. I just want to see Kylo not throw an absolute howl like he did. Like he did. It got a lot of airtime that one. I like Kyler. I hate seeing that because
Yeah.
I like Marv again as well this year. So and I love Trey McBride. So I'm a pretty strong all in on the Cardinals guy. So keen to watch them in the late game. See how they go. JK apparently is going to get the first run for Denver this game. And then obviously RJ Harvey will come in after that. So we'll see how well JK. I think he's the perception from when he signed and now is very different. RJ Harvey's really outperformed especially with the rubbish of the 5th on the depth chart. So he's just completely changed his whole view of him. So I think this is sort of JK's last chance to forge a role going into the season. So he has to take this with both hands. Not sure if he will, so we'll see. But I fully expect RJ Harvey to be the guy straight away.
Well, it's another good one to watch that could have some fantasy impact. So that'll be good. Moving on down to Monday, we've got a nice early one, 3 a.m. I know I shan't be waking up for this preseason game. Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints. Absolutely no chance. I mean, looking at it here, I'm not too sure, Secko, so I'll actually throw it to you, and then I've got a couple of things I just want to mention on these guys. Is it confirmed on your end if any of these guys are starting from what you're seeing out there in the field? Oh, you're muted there, Secko.
It wouldn't unmute me. I just bumped it. I was laughing too hard. I had to mute myself. No one's waking up for the Jag Saints game at 3 a.m. by the way.
Yeah.
0. The Jag. Nothing I've seen confirmed. Given it's a Sunday game over there, but they do have a very clear 3-man committee, competition in Jacksonville. So I still expect all 3 to get run. Bigsby's obviously pissed off because he was told he was the number 1 guy, and he sort of isn't looking like it. So he'll come out angry running. So again, I won't see it. I'll check the box score. I'll go back and watch the game tracker, see who got what plays and when. But as for the Saints, I couldn't care less.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Kendre Miller. That might be the only one I've seen.
No. There's 31 teams this year in the NFL. Like, don't even care. Like, I'm not even.
Those guys, they're competing for the number 1 overall pick next year.
They're going for Arch Manning. They're wanting to get Arch, and they're very clear with their objectives.
That's all but locked in. But I've got to, before we move on, I've got to just highlight Travis Hunter. He did look pretty good he had 8 snaps on defense and 11 on offense in that first week 1. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a bit of a pattern or a bit of consistency when it comes to what kind of work he gets in week 2. Yeah, definitely the most polarizing rookie this year. And he's just such a great character, personality. He's going to be good for the sport and all the fans to enjoy. This one I do want to touch on a little bit more so than the rest here, Secko. Buffalo Bills versus the Chicago Bears. Now, with this, the James Cook signing that's just come out, he signed a big 4-year deal with those guys. Can't imagine that he'll really get any bit of a run. He's missed a bit of training camp. With that, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, they're probably the guys that we hope to see some work. Also, Josh Palmer in the mix. But for the Bears, it's been confirmed that everybody is going to be starting at the start of this game 1 here. So Caleb Williams, he is the boat that raises all in this one. If he doesn't perform, well, then all the guys on that team will take a hit in fantasy. So for fantasy and all the pieces that the Chicago Bears have, I mean, I'm hoping and praying that the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams, they can do something this year. And also that Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, just that big question mark. How are those guys going to look? I know Luther Burden, he's been getting not disrespected, but he hasn't getting a whole lot of love from Ben Johnson. He doesn't think that he's nowhere close to where he needs to be, but he did miss some time with some injuries. So hopefully, just to put the ball in his hands and just see what he can do. Let that man cook. And then Colston Loveland as well. Yeah, it'll be good to see what those guys can kind of do. So what are your thoughts here on this game, Secko, as we close out the Monday slate?
Yeah, no, I'm pumped that all the stars are going to start. It's good to see. We'll actually see what they want to be doing a bit more, just schematically and where Caleb's going to go to. And so I'll be watching this pretty keen. 10 a.m. Monday. It's probably not the best time to be watching football, but even if I'm following along and catching up through highlights when they finally do stuff, because if he falls flat, it's really going to be it's going to be bad for all the pieces. Except for I think Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden's going at a price and has the role that he might even benefit if Williams is shit, because he'll be a safety valve straight away. But we'll see. It's a long time till that happens. I just hope everything goes well for all of them because they all present some sort of value in drafts this year. Caleb Williams, because I don't think I'm ever going to want to start him, but the other guys I do.
Yeah, and even the running back room, I think that hasn't been talked about enough. Kyle Monongai, he's the guy that is, by all the reports, he's got that number 2 role, that short yardage role. Roshan Johnson, the incumbent before him in that space, it looks like he's going to be more of a special teamer in that play, and then DeAndre Swift as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. I mean, and Kyle Monongai, you can get him for absolute peanuts at the moment. Like he's going so far down your board, and if he can kind of fill in that David Montgomery role that we saw Ben Johnson deploy last year in Detroit, there's going to be a whole lot of value to be had in that one. So watch, definitely a key one all in all to watch out for. In our last game here, Secko, on Tuesday, 10 a.m., Cincinnati Bengals versus Washington Commanders. And I just saw that Joey B and the boys will get a couple of early series in this one too to start the game and get them ready for week 1.
Yeah, best thing Zach Taylor ever did was realize that they lose September because they don't start any of them in preseason. So we're finally getting some Bengals love. So yeah, pumped to see that. I expect to see another 70-odd yards, chase, touchdown. But hopefully Higgins gets involved. He only had one pass thrown to him, and it was but Burrow's only really bad throw for the entire quarter. So yeah, I'm pumped to see that. Pumped to see Chase Brown as well. I know you really like Chase Brown.
Yep.
You and I both think he's in for a great year and even better year than the back half of last year. So pumped to see all of them in there. Commanders wise, it's rough. I really hope Terry signs soon. If he doesn't,
me too.
It's just going to be trouble. It's getting too late in the piece. I'm very, very much expect a deal to be done within the next week, within the next 3 or 4 days. It's just too disruptive. They have high hopes. They made the playoffs. They made a deep run in the playoffs. They beat Detroit last year. Dan Quinn's not going to let them just not have a receiver, but not have their clubhouse guy like Terry. So hope he signs. Obviously, he won't be playing. Debo won't be playing. There'll be Luke McCaffrey and again my guy Michael Gallup. I can't remember what he had, but he's remember my dark horse. If Terry's gone, he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, I saw it.
Wish I had said that. It's not it's a bad take, but you never know what's going to happen.
There's still time. But yeah, I'm with you there.
He had 6 targets. 6 targets in week 1.
How many catches?
A lot of targets. Only 2. But
it could have been.
He had Sam Hartman throwing the ball and bloody Josh Johnson. So I wouldn't be able to catch him either. Anyway, we'll see. 6 targets is a lot. Just saying. Target leader on the field.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, anybody could be throwing me the ball. The chances of me catching that thing are still very low. But that pretty much winds us down here for week 2 preview. Let us know in the comments below who you're looking forward to, and we'll be able to check back on these ones when we do the same thing this time next week to kind of cover that and see how this one played out. But all in all, it's going to be a really good one. And if you did miss our My Guys show, the link to that video will be in the description below. But that'll do us here at the Inside NFL podcast. We'll catch you guys later.
See you guys.